McLaughlin here from SnareDrumTV.com. This is episode 43. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to play the 16th note 3-note timing, which will really help you improve your timing skills. If you haven't watched episode 41 and 42 yet, where I teach you the 16th note 1-note timing and the 16th note 2-note timing, I highly suggest that you stop this video right now and go back and learn both of those exercises first, right? Because all of these 16th note timing exercises build off of one another and relate to one another. So the better you understand each one individually, the better you're going to be at all of them collectively, right? So I suggest that you start with the 16th note 1-note timing, get that down, then go to the 16th note 2-note timing, learn that, feel really comfortable with that, work it up, and then come back to this video and learn the 16th note 3-note timing and work this one up, okay? So if you haven't learned those two exercises yet, pause this video, go learn those first, and then come back when you're comfortable with them. If you've already learned those exercises and you're ready to go with this one, let's go ahead and get into it, okay? So like I said, this is the 16th note 3-note timing, where we're going to be dealing with groupings of 3 16th notes, okay? So for the first grouping in this exercise, we're simply going to put a 16th note rest on the last 16th note partial of the beat, or the okay? So that leaves us playing the 1, or the downbeat, the E, as well as the and. Alright? So the first grouping in this exercise sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Alright? Now, in the second grouping of this exercise, we're simply going to take that 16th note rest that we had on the and move it forward 1 16th note partial, so now it's on the and of the beat, which leaves us playing the downbeat, the E, as well as the which sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Okay? In the third grouping, we're going to take that 16th note rest and move it forward another 16th note partial. So now the 16th note rest is on the E of every beat, which means we play the downbeat, the and, as well as the which sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. And finally, in the last grouping, we're going to shift the 16th note rest forward one more partial, so now the 16th note rest is on all of the downbeats, which means we play the E, the and, as well as the which sounds like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Okay? So those are the 4 groupings that we're going to be playing in this exercise. What we're going to do now is take those 4 groupings and plug them into the 4-2-1 formula with a check pattern. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and play the first section of this exercise for you right now, which is the 4 section with the check. So we're going to play a measure of 16th note check, a measure of the first grouping, measure of 16th note check, measure of the second grouping, measure of 16th note check, measure of the third grouping, and then a measure of the 16th note check, and then a measure of the fourth grouping. Okay, so that's going to be the first section of the exercise. And this is at 100 beats per minute. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, so that's the first section of the exercise. For the second section, or the twos section of the exercise, we're simply going to play 2 beats of check in between each grouping. Alright, so it's going to be 2 beats of check, 2 beats of grouping 1, 2 beats of check, 2 beats of grouping 2, 2 beats of check, 2 beats of grouping 3, 2 beats of check, and then 2 beats of grouping 4. And then we're going to play that whole section twice. Right? So the 2 section sounds like this. 1, 2, ready, go. And finally, in the last section of the exercise, or the 1 section, we're going to play 1 beat of each, which means we're going to play 1 beat of check, followed by one beat of grouping 1, then one beat of check, one beat of grouping 2, one beat of check, one beat of grouping 3, one beat of check, one beat of grouping 4, and we're going to play that whole section 4 times. Alright? So, the last section of the exercise, the 1 section, sounds like this. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, so that's each one of the sections of the exercise individually. What I'm going to do now is put them all together and play the entire exercise for you at 100 beats per minute. So if you have this down, you know it, you've learned it already, why don't you grab your pad and your sticks and go ahead and play along. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, so that's the entire exercise. It's a lot of fun to play, and it's really, really great for you to work up your 16-note timing skills, because these are very, very common rhythms that you'll see in a ton of different types of music, okay? So being able to understand and just be able to play these rhythms on a whim, you know, out of the blue, confidently and in time is very, very important, and a great ability for you to work up and to have. So, I highly suggest that you spend a lot of time working on this 16-note timing exercise, as well as the 16-note 1-note timing and the 16-note 2-note timing exercise that you learned in episodes 41 and 42. Okay? So, have fun working all 3 of these exercises up. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I'm glad that you find these exercises helpful. Okay? So, thanks so much, and as always, I will see you next time on Snare Drum TV.